here is, you've brought up something that has actually happened to me in the past. That is, it's a, in this sense,
Okay.
you get into a relationship with someone, then all of a sudden they start acting like, I don't know, something that is not working anymore, because they keep saying, oh, you're taking attention, you're taking this, but in real sense, you know what they want?
Yes,
It's just
yes,
money.
yes.
Now, because misfortunes have followed you here and there, and then the money, I believe,
And money becomes a terminal issue.
when it gets there, if you just see somebody's just doing that,
Okay.
it is time to just terminate the relationship. Now, going into a relationship, you have to know when you're supposed to exit and when you want to continue. When you start noticing some things, it is okay to end a relationship. It is not the end of the world. Women are many out here.
Well,
Yes.
that's
Yes.
those are pretty strong views on the same.
Mm.
Now let's talk about career. More often than not, when you find a girl, let's say in college, or in university, or in the streets, this lady somehow, she was shaped to be maybe a secretary or a hostess, okay, or maybe work in a boutique. But the moment you find her, her goalpost immediately shifts. Then she starts switching to your career, and not just switching, but managing your career. So my question is, what was she doing in the first place, or what did she want to do in the first place? We've seen that in cases of the content creators, Kina Njugush and the wife. The wife was doing something else. When they met Njugush, they became content creators, all of them. Terence, all of them became content creators along the way. Wajiza and all those. So what are we talking about really here when a lady comes to your wife and they abandon their career and they start following your career, and in fact start managing your career? Do you have a problem with that, or how can you comment on the same?
I don't have a problem with that. Let's start there. I'm a man who likes to influence people.
Okay.
Now, going into a relationship, it's somebody you're dumping your dreams. I have a very good vision. I talk to you. If you understand and you see the way the vision is doing good, then you would like to join the ship and you go with the vision. Now, I would be worried if they were thinking small and then you come here with a very big dream and then they don't get on board. So I don't have a problem with shifting goalposts. I don't have a problem with people going a certain way. If you come on board and you want to widen your view, by all means, don't be.
What about the aspect of now managing? You should give this person this job. Why has this person come? We should fire this. We should.
Now that is more than just the career. That is somebody who has decided now to invade your whole life, now your job entirely. That happens actually.
But would you prefer now a lady who comes to your life and maintains her dream while you maintain yours, and then you kind of support each other in the process, other than her living her dream entirely?
That's a tough question. Because both answers are okay. Because you may find a lady who has a very big dream. Doesn't matter if it's big in your eyes. In her eyes, if it's something she really wants, she's been inspired from when she was young, that is what she wants.
Okay.
If she has to go for it, let her go for it. I wouldn't mind letting her go for it. But if you come on board and then you see, this is something we can do together and have a very big dream. Say I decided I wanted to open up a construction farm, things like those. If you will bring something on board, then you're welcome to, but not on the management side.
Well, you seem a pretty nice guy. Every lady should dream of having. But personally, if I can be honest, I would prefer some space, because we kind of have different perception, opinion, and how we manage things.
Mm-hmm.
And as we know, when a lady comes and then she starts taking charge of your activities, it becomes a problem, because sometimes you could have lady clients. She cannot be forthcoming about that, or maybe your partners are ladies. She could not be forthcoming about that. So coming on board really in a general perspective may not quantify what we are talking about. Because by coming on board, then it means she's going to limit you in so many ways. So I think personally that's my take, unless you have a counter.
A counter on the same, huh? It's all in the lady that is chosen. Some are people have talked so much of late of the communication as a thing.
Okay.
Communication is a very, 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 very broad. And now, if you communicate and set boundaries that this you'll not be able to touch on the management side, if you give them a certain specific job, that is what they're supposed to do. Not come on board of the clients or anything. If yes, at some point there will be breach to come on the other end, but if you keep them at a certain job and that is what they're supposed to do, then that is it.
Well, that's okay. Now, as we finish on that subject of career, let's bounce back a little bit to money, and this one is more of a personal question. Do you think the boys, especially in your peer group, are entering into a relationship so soon? Do you think there is a right time, maybe to establish your career first, or to be financially stable before you dive into the career? And as you answer this question, I wish you to skim through your peers and try to get a synthesis approach to that particular question.
Now, this question is two parts. The first one is when to get into a relationship.
Yes.
The second one is when the relationship, when and how you define your career, if it will be affected by the relationship.
Okay.
Number one, when to get into a relationship. I think one should get there when you know what you want. You don't just dive in. You get to know the relationship first. In you know what you want. Don't get into a relationship first before you might get in there and then you just get lost into a relationship, the bliss, the happiness, yes. So getting into a relationship first, you first know yourself. If you don't know yourself as a man,
Okay.
if you don't have where you want to be as a man in the first place, then don't get into a relationship.
But unfortunately, before you continue on the second angle of your explanation, people seem to do what they don't have to. Like, you've explained very well that you need to know 1, 2, 3 before you do this. But on the contrary, people do exactly that. And a lot of people do exactly that.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe you can respond as you continue from another.
Responding to the same. Now, you have to knowing where you're going is a big subject. Is sometimes even people could be married and then at 50, somebody doesn't know what they were supposed to do, and then they end up having
divorcing,
a midlife crisis.
Yes.
Divorce is on the high, is on the extreme end. Now, I believe people normally talk about how radical thinkers think. For example, another one says you're supposed to have your own space. For example, a different house somewhere you can just think. Now, having that in mind, you can, if you have somewhere you can think in the relationship itself, it doesn't have to block you. It doesn't have to. Well, before you get in, if you can find yourself before, that would be best. But as you get into the relationship itself as well, allow yourself space and different scenarios where you can be you can make mistakes and don't be judged and all that. Yes.
Okay, so that brings us to the first part of this discussion. The second part, we shall try to explore education in relationship. We understand very well that people who go to church, the pastors and the men in clergy, they talk about family, how women should behave, how a husband should behave. But now I have some folks here who never steps in a church, and they are coming into a relationship and they have no knowledge about it. So you see, these are two different worlds that are coming together to live together 20 years later without any particular knowledge on the same. So in our next episode, we shall start by that.